Thursday, November 21st, right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Bianca Bono in Apache Junction, where crews are working to fix a water main break caused by a fiber contractor.
The warming trend continues into the weekend. I'm tracking how those temperatures look as we approach Thanksgiving Day.
And he's among the most successful businessmen Arizona has ever seen. Tonight, Troy Hayden sits down one-on-one with GoDaddy founder Bob Parsons.
12 News at 10 with Mark Curtis and Caribe Divine starts now.
And we begin tonight with a fiery meeting in Phoenix, all over hiking in Arizona's summer heat. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Caribe Divine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Dozens spoke out against the closing of multiple trails over the summer when our temperatures got dangerously hot. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly was at that meeting and is back with us in the studio with what they had to say tonight. Chase?
Caribe, the closures have led to hundreds signing petitions to get those trails back open. They understand the dangers hiking in the heat, but don't like the idea of them not being open. Countless runners, hikers, and bikers take to valley trails every year.
They are part of the identity of this city.
Even during the summer. So when they learned Phoenix started imposing closures to trails at Camelback Mountain, Piestewa Peak, and now South Mountain during excessive heat,
a direct slap in the face.
A weak-minded solution.
They packed the Phoenix Parks and Recreation Board meeting, saying the city is taking away their freedom to relax, exercise, and enjoy nature.
I believe the decision is overly restrictive, disproportionate to the issue at hand, and frankly, anti-Phoenician.
More than 20 people spoke out against Phoenix's trail heat safety program, where trails are closed from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. when the National Weather Service puts out excessive heat warnings. Since 2021, the city reports 169 hikers had to be rescued, with 35 this year. Then in July, a 10-year-old boy whose family had just moved to Phoenix from out of state died on South Mountain from a heat-related incident.
I understand the city's desire to reduce the number of rescues, but the actions of a few irresponsible people should not be reason to limit access for the people of Phoenix.
How many rescues are people from out of town?
Speakers believe that even with the closures, locals and tourists alike will still go on the trails. Their solution to the problem?
It takes education. We need to educate.
Let's invest in educating the public.
It was said over and over, believing more warning signs need to be placed at the trails.
We need a big warning sign that says, you can die on this mountain.
Along with additional park rangers and water stations to keep all hikers safe without taking away what they love to do year-round.
We need to keep these parks open.
Now, the conversation does not end here. The Parks and Rec Board is also considering closing the trails when temperatures hit 105 degrees and even extending closure hours, something all those speakers tonight are against. That will be discussed at a meeting in January. Live in the studio, Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thanks. Happening right now in Phoenix, 4 people are in the hospital, one of them an infant, after a bad crash at the intersection of 39th Avenue and Camelback. Phoenix fire officials say 3 cars were involved, with one of them catching fire. The 4 people were rushed to the hospital. We're told the infant and one of the adults are in extremely critical condition. Phoenix police are now investigating.
Developing tonight in Glendale, 1 week after the body of a 30-year-old man was found, authorities are asking the public for information. Police say that Grant Seifert was found face down, shirtless, in a water retention area on November 11th. It was near 59th Avenue in Peoria. Authorities wouldn't confirm a cause of death, but say that they believe the person or people responsible have Seifert's car. It's a black 4-door 2011 Ford Escape with an Arizona temporary license plate. If you have any information, you're encouraged to call authorities or call Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS.
Now to Apache Junction, where repairs on a water main break are underway after a fiber contractor mistakenly hit a water line. Caused a real mess this afternoon and has left multiple streets closed. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is in Apache Junction now with the latest.
Well, as you can see, crews are out here working to fix this break. And again, the city says this was caused by a fiber contractor. And this incident comes as multiple East Valley residents have raised concerns about fiber construction in their neighborhoods. A water main break in Apache Junction, leading to part of the road caving in. It happened early Thursday evening at the intersection of Superstition Boulevard and Idaho Road. Officials say a contractor for Mears Broadband was working on a fiber project when they accidentally struck a water line. An Arizona Water Company employee working to fix the mess telling 12 News it's broken in half, resulting in surrounding streets shutting down. This incident involving a fiber contractor comes as other East Valley residents have raised concerns about fiber construction in their neighborhoods.
It has been a nightmare.
Nicole Flood speaking out after her home in Gilbert was flooded with sewage when a worker mistakenly drilled through the sewage line.
It was coming out faster than we could even get it. It got to about 3 inches.
Also in Gilbert,
It's a bit of a mess.
Don Prather showing exposed cable outside of his home that's supposed to be buried.
There's a good 5 or 6 feet of wire there. We were worried about families and kids tripping over it.
As for this latest incident in Apache Junction, the city says the intersection will remain shut down through the weekend. Thankfully, I'm told the only impacted home or business is this Circle K, but the Arizona Water Company said in order to fix this, they're going to have to dig a lot of this area up, including some of the sidewalk. They said they do hope to have that repair done sometime after midnight. We're in Apache Junction. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you. New at 10, he is one of the most successful businessmen Arizona has ever seen. His brash and edgy advertising strategy helped to get him worldwide attention and helped make him a billionaire.
12 News journalist Troy Hayden had the chance to sit down with GoDaddy founder Bob Parsons.
If there was a Mount Rushmore of Arizona business titans, GoDaddy founder Bob Parsons would no doubt be on it. He pulled himself out of a rough Baltimore neighborhood, fought in the jungles of Vietnam, then worked his way to founding one of the most iconic companies in our state's history. He tells his story in a new book called Fire in the Hole, and I was able to talk to him about his very eventful life.
I never borrowed any money, and I never had any partners. So that made a couple things real easy.
Outside of those couple of things, there hasn't been a whole lot that has come easy in Bob Parsons' life. His journey to becoming one of the most successful businessmen in our state's history has been filled with hard work, risk, and a little good fortune. From his early life to founding tech company GoDaddy, to becoming a billionaire, to starting golf's PXG, the 73-year-old Parsons reflects on his life in an autobiography released this year called Fire in the Hole. He grew up in a poor family in East Baltimore with a sometimes absent father and a mother who he says was likely suffering some sort of nervous breakdown.
She would take her head and start pounding it into the wall. And then she would then reach up and grab her hair and start pulling it out of her head in clumps. And then she'd look at me and she'd start making these noises like an animal, like, you know, ooh, ooh, ooh. I mean, she was in such pain.
Pain made worse by the family's financial struggles.
But I said, dear God, when I grow up, if I have a family, I promise you, they will always have what they need.
Parsons escaped his troubled upbringing at 17 by enlisting in the U.S. Marine Corps. He was sent to fight in the rice paddies of Vietnam. And he says hours before his first ambush patrol there, he had an epiphany.
When you start to worry about how you're going to survive, you know, it's a pretty dark moment. And, you know, I had think, an anxiety attack, a little one, you know, kind of hard to breathe, you know, that clammy. And then it occurred to me, you know, gradually that I was going to die there. And so I gave myself up for dead.
680. And he came very close to dying while out on patrol not long after. He was severely injured by a mine and earned a Purple Heart. Parsons used the discipline he learned in the Marines to start several successful businesses. And the one that really put him on the map,
Yes, I'd like to be on a commercial.
GoDaddy. The company burst into the public consciousness because of a controversial commercial that Parsons helped dream up, and it captured the country's attention.
Is that you're upsetting the committee?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset the committee.
I did interviews for a week from morning to, you know, from sun up to sundown. The GoDaddy girl was on every possible show.
So you probably got more free publicity by far than the paid stuff.
About $15 million worth.
Danica Patrick.
GoDaddy's profile continued to rise after Parsons hired race car driver Danica Patrick for a series of commercials.
You're doggone right you would.
Parsons then sold just a portion of GoDaddy for over $2 billion. He didn't have to ever work again. But soon he took an interest in the golf business when he asked then Ping golf club designer Mike Nicolette why golf clubs didn't seem to improve much year to year. Mike answered that he was hampered by cost restrictions and time.
And I said, do you think if you had as much time as you possibly had to design clubs and you know, you didn't have any, you know, you had money to spend where you need it, you didn't have no limitations there, that you could make a better club? He goes, I'd sure like to try.
Parsons hired Mike away from Ping and created PXG, a high-end golf and apparel company that's seen as a disruptor in the golf business, and it's growing in market share. The clubs are designed right here in the Valley, and Bob's wife, Renee Parsons, is the company's chief marketing officer. When I asked him what he thinks the key is to running a successful business, he told me, you have to love what you do. So you still love what you're doing?
Absolutely. I do. Now, are there days when, you know, maybe, you know, for whatever reason, you know, no good deed goes unthanked. You know, you have a few of those moments, you know, but you know, you get past those in a little bit. So, you know, basically, anymore, I'm a happy guy.
Parsons and his wife Renee are also very active philanthropists. They say they donate an average of $1 million every other week to a variety of charities. Now, the story you just saw had to be edited down because of time constraints here on 12 News at 10. But if you want to watch the full version, including how Parsons almost gave up on GoDaddy before it went big, and the impact he thinks Danica Patrick had on the company and more, you can watch it right now on our 12 Plus app. Troy Hayden, 12 News.